certainly disappointed in the loss. Obviously frustrating. Have a game like that, you don't feel like you played great, especially at home. Had chances down the stretch, but also you earn victories you don't deserve them, and we didn't finish possessions defensively like we had been doing. 8 turnovers in the first half. That just isn't us. And give Oral Roberts credit; those 2 young men are really talented. Paul had his group ready to go, and I think it's also a good time for us to fall into a bye week. We need to reset and just get away mentally for a little bit.
Dave, what makes it tough against a team like RU anytime you're playing from behind, but what makes it tough playing against them, trying to get over the hump?
Yeah, I mean, playing from behind, playing from the lead, they're a good, talented offensive team, and you can see those two, between A. Smith and O'Banner, they can compromise you in a lot of ways, and they both they were both really good all weekend, and we were fortunate, last night, and I think that's the thing that I'm starting to realize too. These back-to-backers, that team that loses the first one, their back's against the wall and they're desperate, but we have to understand the moment of every game.
Anything you could have done different as far as defensively? I mean, do you second guess yourself all the time?
I mean, that's coaching. You're going to do that all the time, and held them to 54 points last night, and I don't second guess a whole bunch other than we just didn't finish possessions. And what I mean by that is they got loose in the offensive glass in the first half. In the second half, we give up a backdoor late clock. We don't crowd them. They hit a couple shots at the end of shot clocks. And I think the score is a little bit, not quite indicative because we were fouling quite a bit down the stretch, but they're a good team. Yeah, and that's just, I thought it's unfortunately from you, Jeff, that's a great perspective. And that's just where we're at a little bit as a group, just a little bit off mentally. And I think as I talk to other coaches in the department, just across the deal, this grinding a little bit mentally. And I think this bye will come at a very good time for our group.
Kind of speaking to that, bye, what's the value of having it this late in the season with just a handful of games left in the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, we're about to find out. We're coming up to the most important stretch of basketball, and we're also going to be playing some really good teams too. So, we'll see. I think in a lot of ways we can still control our own deal if we take care of business. That being said, if we're not a better version of ourselves, we're not going to control anything.
Well, Rocky, you've been around a while. How do you respond to games like this when it comes so close but can't get over the hump?
Yeah, obviously it hurts. You look at it from a lot of different angles, but the bottom line is, we didn't do enough to win the game tonight. Luckily we're going into a bye week where we can take some time and rest our bodies, rest our minds, get away from basketball. But I think there's a huge opportunity in front of us to bounce back from a loss like this. We just got to look forward instead of hanging our heads back on this loss, because if we do that, there's no way we can grow and get better in the next couple weeks.
How long does that take? Do you 24 hours? Do you have a 24-hour rule or what?
I like to think so. You can think about what to do or what you did during the game for the past 24 hours. But after that, you really got to focus on moving on to either the next opponent or just getting better later on throughout the week.
Sam, what makes it difficult playing from behind any time from the tap, but against a team like Oral Roberts, what makes it tough?
When you're down on offensively, you're going to be much more aggressive. Sometimes that opens up turnovers and stuff like that. But tonight we just didn't get enough stops on defense to win the game, obviously.
Seemed like you had your opportunities there. They had a 4-point lead for the longest time. It's frustrating just not to be able to cut into that.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. Obviously, losing isn't fun. But yeah, like you said, we closed the gap to 4 or whatever. We just couldn't get over the hump.
What makes O'Banner and A. Smith, what makes them so tough to stop?
Yeah, they have very complementary styles. They can do a little bit of everything. They can both get to the rim when they want to. They can both, shoot it from outside. I think it's a pretty tough duo to stop. obviously we weren't up to the task this weekend.